Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. I want reply. Yeah, expects AOP around advice flow of execution. Today, total class is to understand the flow of execution. Okay, first of all, tell me what AOP says, guys. Separate primary logics and secondary logics at the time of development. Mix them dynamically at runtime by generating in-memory proxy keys. Mix them dynamically at runtime by generating in-memory proxy class. Are you understanding my statement, boss? Come on. Yeah, first, who generates this proxy class, guys? In IOC container, czlib is there. Library name czlib is there. That czlib generates the in-memory proxy class. How does it will be generated? As the subclass of the target class. Simply as the subclass of the target class. Getting my point, boss? Simply as the subclass of the target class. Getting my point? Okay. Their original business methods are overridden. Inside that, both primary and secondary logics will be mixed. Okay, Nizam. First I placed service class, nothing but target class boss. Super. Today, no other topic except this topic. Right, I pasted it. Then expect class. This is my expect class. Expect or advice class. Guys, give me 2 minutes time. I'll come back. Guys, everyone, please come back. Yeah, here is my expect class, guys. Here is my expect class. Super. This is my Spring Bean configuration file right now, boss. This is my Spring Bean configuration file. Yeah, this is a dynamically generated in-memory proxy class. Okay, this class, this code is not there with us. This code is not there with us. Dynamically generated in-memory proxy class, guys. Okay, now let's understand how this is generated. How does it is generated? Everyone, public class bank service CZ some number proxy extends bank service. This is target class. Implements application context aware. This is the special container supplied interface, boss. Based on this interface implementation, the IOC container injects underlying application context object so that it is called aware injection or interface injection. This interface is having one method, set application context method. Come on, guys, are you there? Guys, can you respond in the chat box? Tell me, whatever application context container object is there, that is coming as the setter method argument value. That is coming as the setter method argument value, and that is initialized with proxy object. That is initialized with proxy object. Got it, guys? That is initialized with proxy object, boss. This dot CTX is equal to CTX. Now listen carefully. Both business methods are overridden. Both business methods are overridden. First business method is overridden, guys. Come on. First business method is overridden. He is getting expect class object or not. By submitting bean ID of expect class, getting access to access class object. Are very simple, Ra Babu. This overridden business method internally calls this one performance method with proceeding join point. Performance method with proceeding join point. To call this method, first of all, this performance monitoring expect class object is required or not required. Somehow it is getting access to that object. So to call this performance monitoring method, we need what? Proceeding join point object. Listen. Proceeding join point PJP is equal to new method invocation proceeding join point of. Proceeding join point is interface. Method invocation proceeding join point is implementation class. Proceeding join point is interface. Method invocation proceeding join point is what? Implementation class, right? To that object, we are setting the target object. We are specifying the target method. We are specifying the target method arguments. Ultimately, proceeding join point object. Ultimately, the proceeding join point object is having target class object, target method details, target method arguments. Agree with me, guys? Okay, now listen. Expect object is ready. Proceeding join point object is ready. Now it is calling what, guys? Now it is calling what, guys? Expect dot performance method. Expect dot performance method. Clear, my dear? Expect dot performance method. Uh, so that means what happened, guys? In in-memory proxy class, underlying container is injected using that and business methods are overridden. Inside the business method, using that container, we got expect class object. By injecting target class object, target method details, target method argument, proceeding join point class object is created. What is created? Proceeding join point class object is created. And once everything is ready, okay, expect class performance method is called. That means expect class advice method is called, boss. Okay. Same thing happens where, guys, in the second business method also. Maybe I have not highlighted that. Maybe I have not highlighted that. In the second business method also, same thing happens. This is a guess, boss. This is guess. Dynamically generated in-memory proxy class may look like this. This is a guess. Wild guess I am doing. Wild analyzation, wild guess I am doing. It may look like this. It may appear like this. This is what I am trying to say. Right, boss? Yes, boss. Shall we see the flow of execution, everyone? This is my client application. This is my client application. Super. Number one, we running the application, boss. Number two, control goes to main method. Run the application. Control goes to main method, right? Super. Next, IOC container is created. Number four, loads the XML file. Checks whether XML file is well formed or not, valid or not. That is number four. That is number four. Number five, guys. In-memory metadata of. Where is number five, guys? Number four, loading parsing of XML file and in-memory metadata creation. In-memory metadata creation. Super. In-memory metadata creation, boss. Number five, it comes to which, guys? Number five, AOP colon expects a auto proxy. This tag is observed. Auto proxy generation is enabled. Enabled. Number six, enable component scanning. On which package? com.nt package. Now comes to package, guys. It comes to both packages, com.nt.expect, com.nt.service, com.nt.main, @component classes are not there. com.nt.cfg, no classes are found. Number seven, notices stereotype annotations, @component is placed or placed on these two classes. On these two classes. Got the point, my dear? Notices the stereotype annotation, @component are placed on these two classes. Come on, my dear. Okay, guys. These two classes, bank service and this was. Number eight. Number eight, pre-instantiation of singleton scope Spring Bean starts. In that process, it creates performance monitoring advice class object normally, and it notices bank service class name in OGNL expression of @around advice expect class. So it stop creating bank service class object, enables in-memory proxy class generation based on bank service. I hope eighth point you observe, guys. Okay. On how many classes it noticed @component, boss? On how many classes it noticed at the red component 2. Performance monitoring, other one is what, guys? Bank service. But in bank service, performance monitoring and this one. But in at the rate around OCL expression, bank service class name is mentioned, na boss? Bank service class name is mentioned. Okay. It creates performance monitoring object normally, boss. But since bank service class name is there in OCL expression, it will stop creating bank service class object. It will stop creating bank service class object since bank service class name is there in OCL expression. Since bank service class name is there in OCNL expression. Are you listening my statement, boss? Come on. Since bank service class name is there in OCNL expression, OGNL expression. Are you getting my point there, guys? Okay. Tell me, boss. In-memory proxy class will be generated. Number 9. In-memory proxy class generation takes place. Come on, guys. Like this in-memory proxy class will be generated. Number 10. Number 10. In-memory proxy class object will be created. In-memory proxy class object will be created. Tell me, boss. Is it creating object for target class or dynamically generated in-memory proxy? Is it generating proxy class for target class or dynamically generated in-memory proxy class? Dynamically generated in-memory proxy class. What the point, boss? Yes, boss. Number 11. By seeing this application context aware interface, this setter method executes and the injection takes place. Injection takes place. Check it out. Number 11. Aware injection injects application context object to proxy class object. Injects application context object to proxy class object. So context object is injected to proxy class object or not? Context object is injected to proxy class object or not? I want reply. That is number 2. Now, already created aspect object. Now, already created aspect object and in-memory proxy class object. Are you understanding my statement? Both will be placed in IOC container. Both will be placed in IOC container internal cache. Both will be placed in IOC container internal cache. I want reply. That is 11. Keeps both aspect class and proxy class object in the internal cache of IOC container. That is 12. Okay. Number 13, boss. With this IOC container related startup activities are completed. So entire magic is done in the IOC container creation itself, na boss? Entire magic is done in the IOC container creation itself. Say something, my dear. Okay. Now listen. Once again, I repeat the steps. Number 1, run the application. Only this part is very crucial. That's why I'm repeating one more time. Number 2, main method. Number 3, IOC container creation. Number 4, loading of XML file, checking well formed or not, valid or not, creating in-memory metadata. Number 5, it notices there is AOP colon expects a auto proxy. It is noticing there is AOP colon expects a auto proxy. That is number 5. This is number 5. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Super. AOP colon expect J. That is number 5, guys. That is number 5. Number 6, my dear. Component scanning is observed here. What is observed? Component scanning is observed here. It goes to packages, com.nt sub packages. But even though so many sub packages are there, it noticed stereotype annotations only in what? Performance monitoring and bank service. Performance monitoring and bank service. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Notices the stereotype annotations are there. That is 7. Number 8. Pre-instantiation of singleton scope beans happens, boss. Performance monitoring is loaded, object is created. This is number 8. Hash 8. Hash 8. Okay, now listen. It actually should create target class object. But what it noticed, guys? AOP colon expects A is there. And moreover, target class name is there in OCL expression. Target class name is there in the OCL expression. Then it realizes this fellow not interested to create for target class object. I should generate in-memory proxy class extending from target class. So that is number 9, Baba. In-memory proxy class is created extending from target class. Number 9. Number 10, having in this entire code object. Number 10, in-memory proxy class object is created. Number 10. To that object, application context container is injected. Whatever current container is created in the client application, that is injected. That is number 11. That is number 11. That is number 11. Understanding my statement, guys? That is number 11. Super. Injected. Number 12. Keeps both expect class object, proxy class object in the internal cache of IOC container. In the internal cache of IOC container. Kept, boss. Bank service, proxy class object reference, PM expect, performance accept class object reference. Okay, with this, the activities related to what happened, guys? IOC container completed, na boss? Super. Okay, now tell me, in the internal cache, are we having target class object reference or in-memory proxy class object reference? In-memory proxy. With what bean ID? With what bean ID? Target class bean ID. Are you understanding? Is it not interesting, Rababu? In the internal cache of IOC container, the proxy class object reference will be placed having target class bean ID. having target class B. Perfect, guys? Perfect. After that, what next, guys? Number 13. CTX dot get bin bank service. Get bin bank service. It goes to internal cache of IOC container. Bean ID is submitted, bank service Bean ID is submitted. Tell me, in that process, what we will get, guys? We will get proxy class object reference. We will get proxy class object reference. Come on, guys, agree with me. Proxy class object reference. Right, my dear? Got the clarity, my dear? Proxy class object means. That is number 15, brother. 14 is from IOC container. 15 is coming. Number 16, guys. We are calling business method on proxy object. Tell me, control goes to target class calculate simple interest method or proxy class overridden method? Where the control goes, guys? Alexa activates balcony central light. Alexa, activate balcony central light. Right now it is called on proxy object reference, na boss. Right now it is called on proxy object reference, right? Control goes to the overridden method of proxy class, right? The control goes to the overridden method of proxy class. Super. Where is 17, guys? Overridden method of proxy class is executing. There what happened, guys? All these objects are prepared. Expect object is prepared. Proceeding join point object is prepared. Come on. That is 17. Okay. 18. Expect dot performance PJP is called. Expect method is called now. Expect method is called. We are calling business method of the proxy class. But proxy class business method is calling what, guys? Expect method, right? 18. It comes to expect class monitoring method, boss. Expect class performance method. Where is that? 19. This is 19. This is 19. Are you observing this point? Okay. To be more specific, here I will put #7, #8. Why #7, #8, guys? A replication of activities. This is not 8, Babu. 8 is what? By seeing bank service class name in OZL expression, it will stop creating object for target class. Let it be. Performance method is executed. Start logics are executed, guys. Start logic, 3 logics. 18, 20, 21. Because of this proceed method, PJP is holding complete target method details na. PJP is holding complete target method details. PJP is holding complete target method details, guys. PJP dot proceed 21. PJP dot proceed 21. Are you understanding my statement? Proceed. PJP dot proceed. Now, because of the target, PJP holds target class and target method details. So control goes to target method 22. Original business logic executed 23. Original business logic executes 23. Come on. That result comes 24. Post logics will execute 25. Post logics will execute 25. Post logics, after that result is written 26. Those results came here. Those results came to client application 29. After that, what happened? After that, what happened? Same thing will be repeated for second method now, boss. Same thing will be repeated for second method. Say something, my dear. Okay, now you understood how primary and secondary logics are mixed up. They are mixed up dynamically at runtime. Will you agree with me with that theory? They are mixed up dynamically at runtime. What do you say, boss? Dilip Yadav, yesterday you asked me flow of execution. I hope you got the flow of execution. They are mixed up at what time? Dynamical at runtime. Code is not copy pasted. By overriding original business method in proxy class, accept class methods are called. Accept class methods are calling business method. Right now, boss? Okay. So 64. Dilip Yadav, yesterday you only asked me the flow of execution. At least now your mind is satisfied, heart is satisfied with the flow of execution I have given. Dilip Yadav, are you there? Are you alive? Now, let me make you people feeling it more practical. From the beginning, I am saying development time, they are separated. What? Primary and secondary logic. They are mixed up at what time? Runtime. They are mixed up at what time? Runtime. It's been practically proved or not? It's been practically proved or not? I want reply. What happened to my Eclipse ID was? Before entering into target method. After exiting from the target. After exiting from the target. Here is my Java application. Before exiting, entering into target method, calculate simple interest amount after exiting from target method. Coming now, boss? Before entering into target method, after exiting from target method, here is my target method execution. Here is my target method execution. Here is my target method execution. Before, after, here is my target. Before, after, here is my target. Clear, my dear? Got the clarity, my dear? Everyone understood my statement, guys? Everyone got the clarity, my dear? I want around advice test, Java application. Before, after this. Before, after this. It's happening or not happening? I hope you got the flow. Entire magic is there. How proxy class is generated, how it is mixing up primary logic with secondary logic, how it is calling expect method, and how it is calling target method, right? I hope you, whatever theory I said these many days, my theory and practicals are matching. Number one. Number two, okay, by seeing the way in-memory proxy class is generated, you are able to feel how primary and secondary logics are mixed up by calling methods in a certain sequence, boss. By calling methods in sequence. See, when okay, guys, now listen carefully. While working with AOP, we have to remember 2 points in mind, boss. While working with AOP, target class should not be taken as the final class. Why, sir? Can we have subclasses for final classes? Target class method should not be taken as the final methods. Target class method should not be taken as final method. Can we override superclass final methods in subclass? In-memory proxy class is generated as subclass of target class, na boss? Can we override superclass final methods in subclass? While working with Spring AOP or expect JAOP, while working with Spring AOP, expect JAOP, okay, which generates the proxy class using CZ-lib libraries, which generates the proxy class using CZ-lib libraries. Tell me, we need to remember the following points. Okay, while designing the target classes. While designing the classes. Number one, target class must not be taken as final class. Target class must not be taken as final class. Are you getting my point there, guys? Target class must not be taken as final class. Because final classes cannot have subclasses. So the in-memory proxy class generation will fail. Generation will fail. And as a Java application. Okay, right now you take this bank service class as the final class, guys. Bank service class as the final class, guys. Right click, run as Java. See, guys, you'll get exception. Cannot subclass final class. So in-memory proxy class is coming as subclass of target class. So we are getting exception or not. So application raises the error. Raises the error. Application raises the error. Super, super. Okay, now this time I will try to take final methods as the final method. Public final, right? Public final. Around advice test. Java application. See, only target, no exception will not come. Okay, so proxy class is generated, but methods are not overridden. When not overridden in the subclass, superclass methods will execute or not. Only business logic is executing. Only business logic is executing. Right now, boss? In target class, the methods must not be taken as final or static methods, because final comma static methods cannot be overridden. The subclasses cannot be overridden in the subclasses. Okay, I hope you understood these 2 points also, boss. Right. I think you got the clarity. First time, class generation, source code compilation, source byte code execution, everything happening at runtime na. This in-memory proxy class allocates memory in hard disk memory? No. It will directly created in JVM memory, source code. Compilation happens in JVM memory. Okay, byte code generation happens in JVM memory. Loading of class, creating object, everything happens in JVM memory. So far, .java hard disk, .class hard disk, only execution is JVM memory. But in-memory proxy class, everything happening in JVM memory or not? Everything is taking place in the JVM memory or not? I want reply. Enjoyed, guys? Got the clarity, boss? Okay, guys. Tomorrow when we meet, we are going to discuss remaining 3 types of advices. After advice, before advice, throws advice. Are learning all these 4 types of advices is nothing but AOP learning, boss. Nothing great about AOP. AOP is all about separating secondary logic from primary logic at the time of development and mixing them dynamically at runtime. Boss. Understanding? Yeah. While working with AOP, strategy design pattern rule number 3 cannot be followed. Okay, these 2 are against of what, guys? No, actually, only first one is against. These 2 are against of strategy design pattern rule number 3, right? Yeah, this is one limitation. Against of strategy DP rule number. So in AOP environment, we cannot enjoy this rule, guys. So now let me upload the document here. Where is the document? Full stack. Edit. Fine. Upload. Browse. What is that? Class content. What is there? Spring, guys. NTAG 64. Spring AOP. Okay. This is 30. No, tomorrow is not last class. 3 advices. Another 3-4 classes are minimum there. Another 3 advices we have to study in a boss. Thank you, guys. Have a nice time. We'll meet tomorrow.